In this session, I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks how to work more efficiently and faster with Octane. These are not my tips and tricks, they're coming from our R&D organization, and more can be found as well on the Micro Focus community site. The link is also pasted below. I would like to use the quality module for this and to share with you a little bit how you can use Octane faster. The first feature I would like to share with you is on the right side. You know, all these tagging capabilities that we have here on the right side, or this capability that you can just click on a topic and then it will filter accordingly. Well, what most of the people do not know, if I want to exclude one of those fields here on the right side, I can just right-click them. And what it will do, it will actually exclude this item to be shown or displayed. So this is a fast way of removing topics which are not relevant for you, especially if you have a lot of topics here that you would like to see, but there's one or two you would not like to see, then just right-click it and it will remove that from your display. Very strong feature. Next one is the quick filter feature, which I would like to share with you. And this is really based on your current view. You can just click on an element you would like to see specifically. So for example, I have here a test, which is with the test type acceptance. So it's an acceptance test. I can right click this test type and just say filter by test type acceptance. And what it will do, it will actually show me only acceptance tests here in this list. So very, very strong capability to filter quickly on something that you can see on your screen and just using that. I can remove the filters of course all the time here on the top again, and that's as usual. The next thing I would like to show to you is the cross-filter functionality. This is a really strong filter capability which allows you actually to use the relations which exist in Octane, all the links that actually exist to filter on specific topics. In this case, I would like to filter on all the backlog items which are delivered by a specific team in my organization. So for that, I'm going here on the select field. I'm going to go on the backlog coverage, and what you can see here, there is a special arrow and the linkage sign. So that means there is additional functionality behind there which you can filter on, or additional fields available where you can filter on. This is now what we call the cross-filter capability. And now in there, I would like to say I'm searching for that team. And I just added the team as a filter criteria, and I can say, okay, I would like to see all tests which are covering elements that the API team is delivering. So this is really strong. So that's the filter I've set up here, even though the tests as such do not contain the linkage to the API team, because we do not know in the test who is delivering it. We know which backlog item we cover with that test. And because of that linkage, we can now do this cross filter function and use this to increase your capabilities here. So that's the cross filter functionality. I would like now to move to the grouping functionality. That's this little button up here. A very strong field, already strong capability here as well. I will use the test type from before. We know it already, and I will say OK. And what we will do, it will group all my tests into these categories. You can see we have end-to-end, we have performance, regression, and so on. So I can now work from here, and that will also help me if I am looking in specifically, for example, regression tests or acceptance tests, and so on. I can really then go directly into this group regression and then look on my specific regression tests only. But in the same, I can also quickly go here and look into my acceptance test and look in there. Okay, that's a grouping, and this is also available. All the features I'm sharing with you are available across our modules. So that's very good to know as well. It's not only in one module, it's across all modules. Now the next topic I would like to show you is the bulk update. I'm going to remove quickly the grouping here. And what I'm going to show to you is if I want to do something specifically for several tests, for example, I'm going to select here just randomly 3 manual tests, and I would like to do a specific update to those tests. I can do that by clicking here on bulk update, and then I can tell him, please change this, please do this. So 3 items have been selected, 3 test case. I can, for example, say backlog coverage, and I can then tell, hey, this is within this epic, it's this feature, and within this feature is actually this user story, or it's actually I want to do it on the feature level only, so I just click here, or I want to do it on a defect and on the user story, I just click whatever I need, and it will automatically allocate then those tests to show the backlog coverage. So this is all I do. I say update, and it will start to work on it in the background, and now it says, okay, bulk update completed successfully. So it has now created that link into to the feature and also to that user story. If I go on there in the relation tab, just for on an example here, you can see I have now linked this feature here, and I have linked it to a user story. Actually, it was already linked to some user story, so that's just now additional one I have linked it to. It's a demo environment, so I can just try an error. So that's it for the bulk updates. And the next thing I would like to show to you is the feature we have in regards to the templates. In almost every area of our Octane solution, you can find templates. One template you can find is here. For example, if I add a manual test, but also if you will see it, also if you add other stuff like backlog items, or even if you're doing document reports and so on, you can define your template. So I could, for example, say, I'm only working for in the acceptance testing area, not in the end-to-end. Actually covering, for example, always one specific epic, which doesn't mean I have, one specific feature. I don't have to write that every time, or I can just define a template for that. I can also say, okay, this is always in this CRM APAC application module. This is where I'm working in. I can even define some description, and I can then very easily save this as a template. And I will just give a name. Let me give a name, for example, acceptance testing, and I will say CRM. So I know this is always for that. Okay, so it's now saved. I can, by the way, share these templates also across the organization if I like to. And next time, if I'm going here, I can just go and say, okay, I would like to use my CRM. And it will automatically populate those things. I only have to now put the name in and potentially an estimated duration. I can still go and change, for example, an element which is wrong. And by the way, I can also always update my templates. So if I now have a change, for example, I would not like to fix the backlog coverage because it's really changing. I just remove it, and I click here, and it will update my acceptance testing CRM template to the new value. So very useful feature, and you will find it everywhere. So always have a look on this save symbol with the T on top for template. It will give you also a lot of help and speed up your process. So that's it for now. Thanks a lot for listening, and have a great day.